Alright, very exciting day. This is the first flight that I'm going to be doing on the Paramotor since the rebuild, so we're not going to go up for long. It's a little bit wet, so Mum and Dad have had like 20 mil here last night, and I'm crazy enough to be going to send it, but it'll be a very quick flight, and it's just going to be nice to know what the Paramotor runs like, and also hopefully you guys can hear me too by now, because that's exciting as well. Alright, so hopefully you guys can still hear me. This is the very first flight since wind's not too bad. Alright, so here we go, hooked in, speed bar at the ready. Alright, wind direction straight on, only going to be a short flight, the time's 8:29. We're up. Alright guys, so we're up. Not quite hitting full RPM, I don't think still. But nonetheless, we're up. But I want to have enough height just because if the engine does die, I just want to have enough height that I can control and be able to come in for a landing. So, I mean, it seems to be going okay. Like, it goes back to idle fine. That's quite nice there. And let's try another full climb. Yeah, 10,200. I just caught a glimpse of the RPM gauge just then, and it's reading 10,200. So I mean, like, we're in business. Just gonna get a photo. Put it in the group because this is the first flight on the motor. It's so exciting. What I might do is just play some music and see if hopefully you guys can hear the music in the background. There you go. There's some tunes. Woohoo! Hopefully you guys can hear all of this. Yeah! Yeah, nada. Yeah, I got to hate you better now. Yeah. hopefully you guys can hear me. This is this here is my first flight with the SENA 20S Evo and the GoPro 8 with the media mod, so I'm very spoiled to have this gear, but I was really curious to be able to make it so for you guys you could hear me talk but also hear what I'm hearing. So this bloody music in the background, which I'll turn down, the idea is I soldered in another little tiny lapel mic into the speakers so that hopefully when we're flying with all my mates you'll be actually able to hear what we're talking about and what we're saying. So if you want to know the goss and know what we're actually yarning about while we're up here and flying, now you can. So at the moment, because I'm just talking to myself and there's no one up here, and I'm not on the phone, I can't hear myself like through side tones, so side tone's not working at the moment. This just, I don't really know if I'm yelling, I can't really hear myself talk. But if I was to be on a phone call or hooked up via Bluetooth to the mates and stuff like that, I'd actually be able to hear myself as well as hear my mates, and then you'd be able to hear all of that. And it's a really good feature. These SENAs, they're great. The side tone on them's amazing, and I just really hope that you guys end up hearing what I'm saying. I really do. But like, yeah, anyway, there you go. So this is the very first flight on the Paramotor since well, I stopped flying the Paramotor at the end of February and started pulling it apart basically into millions of pieces, and then ordered the parts in March, probably the middle of March, and just rebuilt it probably a week ago. So ended up doing a fair bit to it really. It needed a lot done. Yeah, I can explain that later on, but you know, new rings and reed valves and seals and main end bearings and a new clutch and all those kinds of things that wear out over time. But so far so good. I mean, it's I had a little bit of an issue there with straight after rebuilding it, the engine wasn't quite hitting full RPM. These Sky 100s, they're supposed to get about 10,200 on the ground. I was only getting about 9,700, so I've also, for this flight too, in the running process, I'm running it slightly richer in the fuel mixture as well. So yeah, that's what I thought, you know, that might have helped. So I ran it, you know, you got to run it slightly richer in the you know, running process, and the idea is for that is it's a brand new motor essentially, and you want to have a little bit more oil there just to look after the rings and piston and cylinder and all those kinds of things. But yeah, I'm going to bring it in for a landing because it's severely picking up here. I just noticed the wind's picking up, my ground speed isn't anywhere near as fast, so I'll bring it in for a landing and we'll see how we go. I might even bring it in over on the gravel road. Yeah, I think I'll do that on the gravel road. That way I'm going to be away from the mud and we should be okay. So let's just bring this in. We've got to be careful of the new tower now that we put up on the shed there for the tractors and the GPS. But I'll just bring it on in. Got the trimmers on slow, so I'm only going to be coming. Oh, I wonder whether I do. Oh yeah, bugger it, I'll land over here and I'll just try and bring the wing down on the grass, not in the mud there. Alright, so there we go, bit of a terrible landing, but hopefully now that I'm on the ground I can bring it down just there somewhere. Yeah, that'll be good. Well, thank you so much guys for coming along. This is really exciting for me. The fact that the engine's still idling and running and the prop's not spinning on the ground. I've got the correct RPM on the ground here. And look, that was a short little 10-minute flight, but I tell you what, that there has made my day. It's been a few months now since I've been able to fly this engine. The winds are picking up a little bit now, but I was just really excited to do that, to see how she'd run, you know, and I'm very glad that it's running. Hopefully it stays like this for a while. who would know? But like seriously, that's running that's running great. Right, I'm going to leave it out here, guys, and pack up and try not to get filthy. But thanks so much for watching. Peace out. See yous. Woo! So this is really exciting. So I just put the wing in the container there, and I'm just checking over the engine after the flight, and nothing on it so far is showing any sort of signs of, you know, you stuffed up. You know, like I've got no leaks there coming out of the head bolts like I did last time, and the radiator doesn't feel over too hot. Around the gearbox here isn't like proper singing. I mean, it's warm, but it's not overly warm. And I can see that the clutch bell there's moving freely. None of those bolts have come undone. There's plenty of gearbox oil still. Didn't use very much fuel. The actual exhaust is looking quite good. And then towards the carby, I mean, I did richen the mixture slightly. When I had it all apart, I noticed that my metering lever arm was way too high and it was letting too much fuel in, so I used the Walbro gauge there and put it on there, and it was too high and pushing the lever arm down when I put the gauge on it, so I slightly lifted up that that is a bit warm actually. Let's hope that that's okay. It's very warm actually. I wonder whether that's going to be blowing up anytime soon. Anyway, thanks very much guys for hanging out and checking that video out. It's only a little small one, but hey, I got my first fly back on the motor that I really do enjoy flying after a few months. So thanks very much guys. Peace out. See yous.